Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and I am using my Make It From the Heart card design book, and I'm going to pattern 13. I like how they show two different uses with papers and where you put the sentiment, and there's our cutting guide there. So I'm going to keep it open to use my cutting guide, and I'm going to use some scraps from my favorite pack called Brushed. And we recently had a bring back my pack, and we still have some packages left of it. But such gorgeous paper, and since it's a birthday card for my sister, I'm going to make a pretty card for her. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to the 5.5-inch length, which is one of the dimensions of the card. They're 4.25 by 5.5. And I'm just trying to figure out which part of the paper do I want to show. So I wanted to have that, a portion of that big red flower and also some of the pink flower there. And so I'm just kind of twirling it around to figure out which one. It doesn't make any difference because both sides are pretty. My goodness. Everything is a decision in my world. So I didn't cut down the bokeh in the width, which I need to do. And so I'm going to put down just kind of see how it looks and figure out which way do I want the little spots to show up. And so I want the majority of the spots to show up. And so that's why I cut it that way. So they just look like bubbles. I love it. So I'm going to use my Tombow and put my pieces in place, covering up the entire surface of the card. And this piece is going to be the little banner piece to be the background for the sentiment. And it's like 2 inches by 3 and something inches, 3.5 inches. And it so happens that my scrap was the exact same size it needed to be. How often do you run into that? So now to use the green or the yellow. What to do. But I'm going to cover up my seam with a piece of julep shimmer tape. And I mean, shimmer tape is one of our, such a beautiful embellishment. And it just adds so much to your card or your scrapbook. So of course, I have them in every color that we have. And we're going to be getting some new colors too, which is really exciting. Our new book, our new core catalog is going to be active September 1st, and we just had a launch. And all I can say is, holy moly, we've gone to a whole new level. So, of course, my mint julep went running down onto the floor and across the room. So I had to wind it back up. So I just kind of wanted a little something on the outside edge of the little banner. And so this is like a super bright yellow, and it's got that shine to it, so it'll have a little added element of interest and dimension to the card. So anytime whether you're doing card making, scrapbooking, painting, I mean, so many of the things that you do in arts and crafts, you want dimension too, because the dimension is what adds the interest and motivates the eye to move all around and take it all in. And so these papers they were a special paper with blue skies, which I think we still have some blue skies left. But so interesting and fun to use. So I'm just going to cut the banner at the same time so I get the exact same cuts for the top and the bottom piece. And of course, because of those, the shiny part, the paper's kind of slick and slid against the bottom, so I have to make sure it's lined up right. So I just cut a little snip down the center, And then you want to cut at an angle from the corner up to the center cut line. So super simple, and you get, this way they're identical and will totally match when I put one against the other. Ta-da! So one of the elements that they have suggested on the picture, I should have kept the picture more in the frame. Sorry about that. But they have some twine going around the banner. And once again, like I said, you're just adding a little element of interest. And my little thread is getting down to the end, so it's a little hard to handle. But so I'm just going to put a little tie with a few rounds going around it. And you can spread out these strings from each other, which looks really, really nice, and just a little bit of glitz to it. So I need to just work those a little bit more, but I need to put the string under to catch all the pieces so that they don't come apart from each other. I want them to stay together. So I'm just kind of tying, and I'm not going to make a bow because this is such fine thread that it's really hard for me to manipulate it to make a bow. So I'm just going to make a knot. And if you just kind of run the strands between your fingers, between your fingernails, then they come apart and just fray a little bit and make up for the lack that there isn't a bow. So you're just going to have some little pieces going hither and yon. I like hither and yon. So I'm just kind of wondering, should I have put, because I used the gold thread, should I have used the gold shimmer trim instead? And I kind of decided I like the green. Always questioning. I never get away from it. So I'm going to pop up my banner with a little bit of foam tape. And don't know where that cut went to. And so I went ahead and stuck it down, and I'm using a little 1 inch, maybe 1 1/4 inch round that I had. I always make some extras, and they may be sitting around my video table, so I can, grab some things that are, that I didn't use from a previous project. So I'm using my Always Be Your Wonderful Self stamp set, which is, really lovely, and I've used it before. And so I had some butterflies that I had already stamped and cut out from that, and so I get to use them, and I don't have to do any extra work on this. So those flowers, the pink and the white flower there, also from the matching stamp set to this, were just some extras that I had that I didn't use. So I'm taking my lemonade shimmer brush, and I'm just going around the edge of the little circle just to kind of finish off the edge. And then I just swoosh it over to make kind of a color blob. And of course I'm going to pop it up. So now you don't just have color, but you have the shimmer also from the shimmer brush. So it ends up being real pretty. And this yellow, the lemonade, was a perfect match to go with the brushed paper. So, and it just adds a little bit more interest to the card. So now I'll put my little butterflies on there. So there's the front of the card. Of course, I'm not done. So I'm going to put, a lot of times I'll leave the inside of a card blank, but since I know that I'm making this for my sister, I'm just going to put in here to be your own kind of, which is the title for the stamp set, Be Your Own Kind of Wonderful. Just checking. Ink it up real good. Try to, whoops, there's all sorts of smears around, so we don't want that to get on the card, which, you know, sometimes I forget. And there we go. Always be your own kind of wonderful, which is a good thing for all of us to remember. Don't try to be somebody you're not. So there's my interior sentiment. Just cleaning off my stamp with my chamois. And so what else do I need to do? So I could put the flower down there, or put the flower right there. And I'll just kind of add a little leaf to it. Should have had 2 leaves, only had 1 leaf. That's okay. I'm just going to add a little pop to it. Sometimes the tape is too wide, so you just want to use your little tiny. So I'm just adding the green just for a little bit of color. So then I have a hard time figuring out where to put the leaf. What can I say? But I have some more pieces off to the left there that are things that I colored, and colored a number of them and didn't use them. And this was one of those roses that was from another really gorgeous stamp set called A Million Little Things. Really, really beautiful. And I colored it up, and I really liked it. Kind of looks like a peace rose to me. And so I decided the colors just went perfectly with the card. And so I added that. Like, I really like having, you know, when I'm showing how to do something and I have some extra pieces that just don't get used on a project, it's really, that's the lagoon. That's the same color that I stamped those other butterflies in. And I'm putting my little signature stamp on the back side of the card. So I just love having those little things handy. And this was a perfect juice for them. Because if you're doing something for your sister, and she's your older sister, you have to make it as pretty as possible, right? So there's my card. And I'm going to go ahead and do the envelope. And I think I sort of want to do a second generation butterfly. See, I'm always wanting to line things up, but you need to go at angles. Sometimes you just need to do some more angular stuff instead of everything to right angles. And there's a little phrase here. I think it's called "It's Your Special Day." And I'm going to add that to the butterfly. And we're almost done here. So there we go. So if you like my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love having you watch my stuff and make comments and give me a like, or if you like it. And in the comments below, all of the information will be added so that you can, if you want to purchase any of these things, all the information is down below, and it will click directly through to my website. And thank you for watching. And I will have another card for my sister, because, you know, everything isn't all flowers and butterflies with sisters, right? So I have another birthday card coming up here that actually this stamp set made me laugh out loud. So there's the comparison between the book and what I did. And I love this book. I love our inspirational books because if you can't figure out what to do, they'll tell you what to do and you won't be wasting so much paper. So thank you so much for watching. Y'all take care and be safe. Wear your mask. Bye.